Gary Harris said it best, Coach, you got to schedule more games on Valentine's Day for Valentine. He's kind of thinks it's special, and his mom thinks it's for him. It's not, but it was good that he played well. I'm a little disappointed in him because he's not rebounding as well. He's had a good excuse for him. He's guarding guards now a lot more than he used to when he was guarding inside, kind of wing guys, and because of that, I don't think he gets to the boards, but he showed he's one of the more complete players. His defense has been so much better. We even talked about putting him on Yogi because we didn't think we could cover Yogi. I think he's kind of become one of the greatest point guards in the whole country, and I don't know if we did a good job on him or if he just wasn't as involved when he misses a couple free throws. Maybe it's not his day, and we've been through that with our players too, but we beat a very good team today, and the way they played the first half, we didn't guard. They did. Then they went through their stretch when they didn't guard, and we did, but they scored 40 points in the first 15 minutes of the game, and then after that, I think we did an unbelievable job. They started 26, they got the last 29 in the next 25 minutes, and I just thought our defense made our offense go. Zell found some great looks. We played a lot of that game without Forbes and Harris sitting on the bench. We got a lot out of our bench. And the shame of the thing is I think we'll lose Kenny Goins. It looks like it might be a little meniscus. So that's frustrating, but give Marvin Clark credit. He came in and actually did a pretty good job under the circumstances. And all in all, unbelievable crowd, unbelievable game, and yet Indiana's a very good team. And I say that I was concerned about the game because I didn't know if we could cover the way they drive it and handle it. And whoever thought Biefeld, give him credit. I mean, for a while, he was the best player on the floor. And so I give him a lot of credit too, but I give our team credit. We bounced back, Zell got after it a little bit at halftime. We weren't very good in the first half, even though we got the lead. I didn't think we were playing very, very well, and then second half I thought we played extremely well defensively, and then turned our defense into offense, and we scored. So, questions?
Tom, your favorite place in the world, Twitter, is going berserk about Denzel today, being Valentine's Day. But where does he sit for you when you look around the country and Player of the Year at this point in the season?
That's an unfair question, but I'll give you my answer. It's somewhat prejudiced. I love Buddy Hield. I love him. Not only is he a good player, not only is he a tough kid, but everything I hear about him, Tom is from the same area. I watch him handle losing at Kansas a couple weeks ago, and he seems like the most quality kid that we have in college basketball, to be honest with you. And so I'm a big fan of his. As far as though the versatility and be able to do everything. I mean, I don't think Valentine gets credit for his defense. Now, as all of you know, I'm the first to say that, he was in a long line of shooting guards here over my career that would check campus to find someone they could guard early in his career, and he never found anybody. And then, he got better at it. Everything we've asked that kid to get better at, he's gotten better at. He's became a better shooter. He's become a little more disciplined with the ball. But he can guard people, so he can guard and rebound on one end, and he can pass and score on the other end. And I don't know anybody I've had that can do that as thoroughly as he does it. So put it this way, I think he deserves to be in the race, and I think the guy that's been everybody's favorite deserves to be there too, because hell of a kid, hell of a player. But this guy, I'm telling you, can do things. He was so poised. He was a little bit too unlike himself. I don't know what it was the first 10 minutes of the game. I thought he was good, but he was just existing out there. And we talked about it in the huddle, and he kind of changed and realized that he's really smart too. And I don't know that. I don't know the other things about some of the other candidates, but if you can find a better all-around player on both ends of the court, that guy deserves it.
Tom, you talk about Costello playing some of his best ball and the emotion he has and the aggressiveness. You can kind of see it. How big is that for you right now?
Well, how many did he score second half? 12, 14. He needed to.
13 of his 22 in the second half.
Yeah, well, I don't know how he got those first ones early, because he wasn't very good early. I thought Bryant was kicking his butt, and so was Biefeld, to be honest with you. And he was posting too far out, and you know, we really talked about that at halftime, and so did Denzel talk to him about that. But you know, give guys credit. You know, seniors are supposed to come through in the senior year. What I was really looking forward to was the Yogi and Forbes matchup, two guys that have given 4 years to their universities, and really each one of them have grown. I mean, Yogi Ferrell's a hell of a player too. He didn't have as good a day, but he's a hell of a player. But we needed the other guys. Costello did step up, and Forbes struggled for a while, and then he stepped up. So our three seniors were the difference in the game, and you kind of hope that's the way it's supposed to be, especially this year when it seems like seniors have been doing a lot more for a lot of these teams. And we still have a long, long way to go, and now with another injury to a guy that we just guess it's par for the course. But at the same time, I think we learned something about our team today, that if we go inside, we can score in there. If we go inside, outside, we get a better chance to score. But if we defend and rebound, we get a better chance to run. And Costello started rebounding a little bit second half. I don't know what he ended up with, 11, so he did a little better job of that too. You know, in the first half, we had 1 offensive rebound, they had 9. They still ended up with 16. I mean, I give Tom a lot of credit. I mean, that's the way we used to play, and we didn't do as good a job of that, but he did.
Tom, over here. Tom, 2 minutes, nothing in the second half. Could you just give us an update? Tom.
Oh, I said we're going to try to play him a little bit, and we did. And I think he wanted to turn into a shooter there for a minute, and we had talked to him about that. And not that we don't want him shooting ever, but we need to get him back. You know, he hadn't even practiced really for half a practice, so in a month, and it's still. He probably won't practice tomorrow or the next day, or very little. It's still going to be. We're hoping we can get back to how it was in December. Painful, play, not practice as much, but still play. But it's not going to be where he's practicing every day and playing. And that's not going to happen. And if we can get something out of him, 10 minutes a game, he's willing to do that for us.
Now, when you're down 10 and, as you say, not checking anybody and they're getting the loose balls, what turns that around? Does that happen in the huddle? Did that happen at halftime? Do you threaten them? What happens?
Some good huddles. And I just think they understood. We had made some substitutions, and some of those guys came in hungry. I guess that's where everybody says, we have depth. And I said, yeah, but sometimes that depth, but today our depth is probably what won us the game. Those 3 guys played unbelievable, or 2 guys played unbelievable, but it was our depth. It was Ellis coming in and doing something. It was, Marv was really good, what he helped us with. And we didn't get as much out of Didi, I thought, he's got to turn that motor on. That motor was just idling today. And so, I think he realized that at halftime he'll get better.
Tom, you mentioned a minute for going. Is that sure 10 minutes?
No, I have no idea. No idea. So why did I say it? Because they told me, and I don't hide many things, so that's what I heard. I heard that they're a little worried about his meniscus. He didn't even come. Did he even come back out? I didn't even see him. If he did, it was on crutches, I'm sure, because I saw him on crutches after. It's just a shame, because he has been playing good, but I don't know. Go a week and a half without an injury, it's probably not normal. So.
Tom, you mentioned Marv, and you needed the bigs in the post with Goins out. Can you talk a little about what you need from him moving forward, depending on what's going on with Kenny?
Well, he brings one thing that we thought from day one, from last summer. He's a pick and pop guy. He can shoot a 3. He's athletic as the day is long. He can guard people. And we left him in too long a couple times, and he gave up a 3 because I think he was dead tired. He hasn't played in a long time. But, the other guy that I didn't give much credit to, and he only played 10 minutes, but I thought Schilling did a great job. He got in foul trouble in the first half, and we took him out, and then but I thought he did a good job guarding, because our other guys didn't guard very well. You guys are like, you're like everybody else, Everybody loves offense. So Matt played pretty good offensively, but I wouldn't say he He ain't getting the defensive play of the day. I know that. So he's got to get proven that area. And I thought Gavin gave us some of that. So we had a lot of guys that chipped in. Marv is very important to us because we said at the beginning of the year we thought he'd be our starting foreman.
Tom, a little bit more about Marv. You know, I think the last time the Purdue game, he went in for a minute and wasn't really prepared for a play that kind of came his direction. If I remember right, today you had to go to him. Where do you think, I mean, were you confident in him at that point? I mean, he's played a lot in the past.
We were. Mike Garland came to me before the game. He said, Coach, play Marv. He said, I've been watching film with him every day. He said, I went to his room last night. He was studying film for 2 hours. And, you know, it sounds so corny. I'm sure it does to you guys. It's not hard to read kids. And I told Denzel the game started, I said, Zell, you got to get out of it. You're, you know, nothing bad. Just, I can tell, you know, he wasn't vocal. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. It's easy to read him. Mike read him perfect. You know, put more time in, felt more comfortable. Everybody wants us to feel comfortable, you know. Give a guy a chance. Well, give me a reason to give you a chance. He gave us a reason. He had 3 good days of practice. And a stupid thing like watching film till 1 o'clock at night when Mike Garland was around checking probably gave him a chance. And because of that, maybe this will jumpstart him a little bit. Yeah.
Tom, back to Matt Costello is approaching the block record defensively. What do you like about his progress, and it's approaching familiar time for you and for you guys? So toughness, defense, what are you seeing out of Matt right now?
Well, I thought the second half we were a lot tougher and a lot better defensively. I really did. You know, the first half I wouldn't say that, but you know, Matt's he's just got to keep realizing that you can't go for those fakes. You know, he was going for some of them and could get some fouls, and they were getting around him some, but he probably did a better job than I think in some ways, and in some ways I think he's got to do a better job than you think. And I mean, he's a senior, and he is a very good defensive player. And right now, when we're better defensively, we get our running game going. I think we're really good. And I mean, and Forbes missed some great shots again, you know. And we felt there were some reasons for that too. We kind of hit him a little too early. He's on the run too much instead of stationary. So we got to shore that up. Getting Tom back a little bit, maybe 10, 12 minutes a game would help some of that. Getting Zell off the point would help him some. But Matt Costello, you know, for a guy that doesn't jump real high, he does block shots, he's got good timing. Usually he's very cerebral. Sometimes he's not as much so. I mean, he must have told me 3 times how dumb he was. And I agreed. I agreed each time. In fact, I added a few. But yet he did some very good things. But I mean, he was mad at himself. I mean, when you talk to him, he was mad at himself. He knew there were some plays that, you know, guy's going to drive right. He knew he was going to drive right. He goes out there on his left side. I mean, things that you shouldn't do. But he's valuable. He's valuable. 22 points, 11 rebounds, and I'm figuring out a way that he didn't play as good as you guys. That's pretty cool.
Tom, over here. You mentioned Alvin Ellis earlier. He's a guy who's frustrated you at times throughout the years. The last couple games, he's made good plays and big moments. What is your opinion of him these days and your confidence level in him?
What I like about Alvin the most is there's no kidding anybody here. He was in the ultimate doghouse, you know, for 2 years, and some his fault, some not, but he was in it. And this year he said he was going to make a different approach, and there were games we didn't play him in, and he just kept getting better. His shooting's getting better. We put him on a scout team for a junior. That's not the norm always, especially a scholarship player, but he wanted to go on it to get better. He's done a heck of a job of that, and he's kind of working himself back in the human race, and I'm proud of him for that. You know, I mean, that's the ultimate in a person is, you know, if you're not playing good enough or not doing what you're supposed to do, and then all of a sudden you can turn it around. Those are the kind of guys you love in the end, because he's really made a concerted effort to put more into basketball. Basketball's giving something back to him. Those basketball gods are funny gods. They do that, and they're doing it for him.
Tom,
Yes.
back here. Kind of a two-parter on DD. You mentioned DD and the senior leadership that you have. What's it been like to see as we get closer to March here, a guy with his potential learn from those senior leaders as we get to kind of a crucial point towards tournament time?
Well, I think it's really important because today DD struggled, you know, and I think he struggled, but what they've done such a good job of is Costello's done a great job with him. But the other guy that's really done an incredible job with him is Kobe Willerman. You know, I think he's his roommate on the road and that. He's just, he spends time with him. He's on the scout team. He's telling him what to do, where to go, how to be, you know. And today was the first time in a while I thought Didi, you know, the opening jump, he lost by a foot. And I told my staff, you know, hang on. And, you know, you can see those things. And you're going to go through some of that with some of these freshmen now, and so is everybody else, because it gets to be that point in time of year. But I'll give him credit. He responded in the second half, blocked some shots. You know, it isn't screwing up that's the problem. It's screwing up and then screwing up again, or it's screwing up and not understanding what you did. And I give him a lot of credit, you know. He can take coaching. He can take criticism. But he had some players that got on him too. You know, the non-motor stuff is more unexcusable than the assignment stuff.
Tom?
Yes?
Can you explain how you guys can lose to a team like Nebraska, yet dominate a team like Indiana over 20 years here at Michigan State?
Well, I don't know. I don't know if we dominated them, but you know, a couple of those years with Oladipo and that, they got us. But Indiana's got a very good team. You know, they really do. I mean, I'm not sticking up for Tom. I'm sticking up for Indiana. This game scared me more than most we played, because they do things that I thought was a bad matchup for us. The way they dribble, drive with 4 positions. I thought one guy that is really improving is Hartman. I mean, I think he's improved a ton, you know, and he's a hard cover because he can shoot and he can put it on the floor. But, you know, we lost to Nebraska because we were going through a tough time. We had just lost Tom at the Wisconsin, and we had Wisconsin and Nebraska back to back. We made some mental errors. We made some poor decisions. We shot 11 of 23 from the line. But for the most part, you know, we've been fairly consistent. Meaning, we lost to Wisconsin, but we played hard enough. We lost to Nebraska, we played, probably that was the worst loss, but losing to Purdue, I watched Purdue yesterday and I watched what they did against us, and I gotta say, I thought they outplayed us first half. I mean, they were better than us. They made every shot, they did everything. I didn't think it was all us being poor. I thought it was them being awesome. And that's what you're starting to see too. I mean, there's a lot of teams, you know. How does Oklahoma get down 22-6 at home, you know? It's the hardest part about our job right now. I think there's so many things that you scratch your head. You guys are scratching yours on why that happened. I'm scratching mine too, you know, and I've seen a team that played so well against us. A guy hits 5 threes and then he gets 2 points the next game. You know, why? I don't know why. But keeping guys focused. And Freddie, my Twitter commercial, keeping guys focused in this day and age of everybody telling them how great they are is more difficult than it's ever been in all the sports. Football, basketball, doesn't matter what sport it's in. I will go down, whenever I go down, saying that has been the biggest change in how it is for kids to deal with issues, problems, positively or negatively. It is a pain. And there's too many people that it's happening to, so I'm sticking with my theory, and everybody else can have their own.
Rico's got the last one, and then Kareem will be in.
Tom, you're 8th in the nation, but you're tied for 6th in the Big Ten. What's the focus for the team and the expectation to close out the season?
Get better every day. You know, get better every day. I don't care where we're ranked. I don't care what we got. You know, you wanted certain things because you didn't want to have to play in the Thursday night game in the Big Ten tournament. I don't know if it matters. You want a higher seed. That definitely matters. So we're playing for those 2 things now. I mean, we're not sitting here thinking we can win the Big Ten unless a bunch of people explode, you know. So I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about us getting better every day. I thought we had a decent week of practice. I didn't think it was as good as it needs to be. Now we play a team that's won 6, 7 in a row, you know, and beat us. Started it with us, I think, or close to it. And you know, that was the day after we lost Tom. And so now we're on our own mission on what we want to do. But almost more than win games, I want to get better every day because I know what the tournament's going to be like, and that's kind of, you know, what you're looking forward to now. So, well, in general, guys, it was a hell of a basketball game the first half, and I didn't think they played maybe as well the second half. I thought we played better, but like we played the first half, I thought they played a little bit like that the second half, and they'll be a team to be reckoned with, and so will we. And pretty soon, I'm going to be hoping for all these Big Ten teams to keep winning because I think we got a lot of good teams in our league. Thanks.